All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 715. I'm your host, GPD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who strives to be as on as many platforms as possible. Wombat.
As long as they are a part of my current agreement.
Or if maybe you make a new agreement.
Yes, that is true. Or a new agreement.
Anyway, nobody cares about any of that boring shit. How about those Bengals?
Yeah.
Are we ready? Did we order the wings?
They're still in the Super Bowl.
They didn't blow it.
They
didn't get disqualified between.
They didn't kick them out after the last week. No, I'm ready for the Super Bowl.
What have you done?
I don't know if you know this, but when your team is in the Super Bowl, that's a long 2 weeks of them talking about the Super Bowl.
Are you consuming a lot of that talking?
Here and there. Like, there's only so much of it you can do, right? Like,
it sounds unhealthy.
You can only hear the same things over and over again, and none of it matters. Right. Absolutely none of it matters.
You mean it's not a debate about which team is better? That's not who wins the Super Bowl?
Well, that's what it is for 2 weeks. But then none of that absolutely matters at all.
That's a different Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So how come you're not going? What about that? I feel like you should be going.
It's like $8,000 to $10,000 a ticket.
Did you watch the Pro Bowl?
No.
Wait a minute. Pro Bowl. Hold on. Slow down. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I feel like
to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I was surprised that you weren't going, actually.
I think he'll be fine. He doesn't have to go. It's a lot. It's travel. It's going to LA.
Let me ask this question. If there wasn't COVID now, would you consider going? Did that play into
maybe a little bit more, but still it's just too much money. It's really the money. Like I could afford it, but I don't want to spend that much money on a football ticket.
What are you going to do with your money though?
What is he gonna do? He'll save it for his children.
No, they gotta make their own money. What the fuck? You gotta spend that money. Otherwise you're gonna die with a lot of money. And what's the point of that?
They'll bury it.
Maybe I'll get surprised with a ticket. If a ticket shows up, I'll go.
GB saying you should get him a ticket.
That's not happening.
I think
let's slow down.
We were watching Apple TV last night. The screensaver. You watch the screensaver on Apple TV, right? Where they do like the flybys of the cities.
Yeah.
And there's the LA one.
It was tempting, right? Like we could be right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
For like 15 minutes, we watched that, and I had to point out every building, and it was like, oh, that's where Michael Pachter works. And this is where we stayed this year for E3, and this is where I stayed for my first E3. And this is the JW Marriott. And
right.
Mrs. Shipwreck was really enthralled, I think, by all the my knowledge of downtown LA. I showed her where the Target was at.
That's important.
And this is how a third kid gets made, so you better slow it down.
Right.
Wait, hold on. Serious question. Is Mrs. Shipwreck a Bengals fan?
She is. She got disenchanted, like many Bengals fans, when we went full on criminal record there for a while.
I don't know what that means.
Like So we were really bad. I don't know if you know about this. The Bengals were really bad in the 90s.
Okay.
Bungles.
Like historically bad in the 90s. And then like in the 2000s, we brought along Marvin Lewis. And it was a big jump up. But the way that we got the big jump up, particularly on defense, was to go and get all of the guys with criminal records or questionable pass. Or problems.
Well, they're tough, those guys. They're hungry. They need the money.
Yeah, but it got a little bit like too much, right? Like,
because they kept getting arrested during the season or during the off season.
It was that, and they were just like, it was a whole bunch of like personal fouls and like all kinds of stuff like during the games.
Like meatballs, were they pulling down the pants of the other team?
Yeah, we had a wide receiver that had drug problems who like tragically died, like falling off of a pickup truck. Everybody was right to get a little disenfranchised during that portion.
But you're back now. Forget about the past.
Back.
You're back.
Yeah, now we're back.
I don't know. I feel like you guys could afford it, and I feel like you should be there. That's all I got to say about that. Once in a lifetime opportunity.
I don't even go to the games that are here though, because I prefer to watch them at home.
I was gonna say football
but there's football and then there's the Super Bowl, right?
And you sit there with a bunch of people that don't even know what teams are playing, that are just there because it's the Super Bowl, because their company gave them tickets. That's not fun either.
I understand
that's not fun either. I think he's better off being with the fans he knows in his house
right.
and celebrating with his loved ones and eating those local famous Cincinnati chicken wings that everyone keeps talking about.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know how you pace in the stadium either. Like if you're there, you have there's no like, I'm going to pace and do laundry for a little while until we get to third down.
No, you got to just stand and like shake. That's
I couldn't. Yeah. And no. And you miss all the commercials.
Okay.
And they're showing the Super Bowl in 4K. These are all reasons to be home. Okay. Yeah, look, it's my wife. Bye.
I was just wondering if it was considered at all. Like, was there any consideration made?
There was a slight consideration, but it's too much. Like $8,000 for like a crappy ticket.
10,000 in the end zone though. The one I showed you, that looked pretty good.
Oh, well, that was a great buy. You showed me that on.
It said amazing deal.
SeatGeek or whatever you showed it to me on.
Oh, SeatGeek. Yeah. Amazing deal. I mean, the
I mean, we can split it 3 ways. If we split it 3 ways to send me, then I'll go.
I don't want you to go that badly. I just thought that maybe you wanted to go that badly and you just needed a little coercion from your friend, just like a little push.
Nope.
No. Okay.
No.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Maybe I get that Amico refund.
Maybe you're never seeing that.
Maybe when the class action lawsuit goes through.
Can I still get my refund on that? I feel like I'm ready to pull the trigger on the refund now.
I don't think they'll give it to you.
But he bought it from GameStop, I think.
Oh, then yeah,
No, I don't think I did. I think I got the wood grain edition or something, right?
I think that was through GameStop, though. I thought they had a purple one and a wood one.
No, do you not know this?
If you bought it through them directly,
the Indigo Purple exclusive version of the Amico, I believe.
If you bought it exclusively from them, I think that you might be.
They're just going to send me my money back, right? Just right back into my account.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Good luck.
Do I have to give them $500 more and then they'll give me my money back?
Yes, that's how.
I just keep giving them $500 at various intervals for them to give me my money back. Got it.
Yeah. Well, this was a news item for later in the show, but yeah, they do want you to invest in the company now because they may not be able to actually make an Amico.
Aren't they like $6 million in the hole? Is that what I read, or did I misread that? I very well could have misread that.
I think it was more.
Was it more?
It's way too far down on this outline. I can't scroll now. It's too early.
We'll get to it later.
Yeah. That money's gone though. Don't worry.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to the Super Bowl. I can't get my Amico money back.
This is how you make up for that.
If I didn't invested that Amico money
in an
NFT, it would have had enough interest on it now.
It's possible.
For a Super Bowl ticket.
We joke, but to be honest, how long? It was a long time ago. Right? It's like 2 years ago.
Oh, I think it's longer than that.
Yeah,
now, right? I think it's getting close to 3.
Yeah. Yeah. You could have made some money on some Ethereum or something like that. Anyway, should we do some show feedback?
Sure.
There's a lot of news items to get to.
I know. I'll make this quick. The first 2 get read together anyway. Snatcher 33 had to say, can we all agree that the new segment, Wombat's Weekly Leftist Views, should be a one and done? I know it's been said countless times, but I really do love the CAGcast for the TV, movies, and video game chatter, not the political talk. Keep up the good work, boys. And yeah, even you, Wombat. And Dr. Catface Meowmer says, I liked Wombat's virtual signaling segment. I hope to hear more of it. The structure is fun and well thought out. Quick questions followed by quick answers. So there we go. 2 comments about it, both with the exact opposite opinion.
There is none this week. So everybody can, half of you can rest easy.
We'll get to opinions that people will
be sprinkled in throughout. Don't worry.
Yeah.
The structure.
Don't worry. You'll have plenty of reasons to be mad at me. I guarantee it.
Right. And the structure is just me yelling at Wombat, which is, found throughout the show anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What else we got?
Gota has to say, I just want to wish Shipwreck the best of luck in the Super Bowl. The last few times the Bengals were there ended up being classic games. They helped make Joe Montana a legend. There won't be any Montana moments in this one. Ken Anderson, Boomer, and Icky will all be watching. Chris Collinsworth will be in the booth instead of on the field like he was 40 years ago. Enjoy it with them, Shipwreck. It's something you never forget. Actually, I was thinking about this. Are you a Chris Collinsworth fan as a commentator? Because I know he's a bit divisive, but as a Hall of Fame Bengal.
Hall of Fame Bengal. We only have one Hall of Famer.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe he was. I was just making an assumption.
No, Anthony Munoz is our one and only Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Maybe he's in the Bengals Hall of Fame.
An excellent offensive lineman. That is our one and only Hall of Famer is an offensive lineman.
That also is pretty funny. But anyway, is there like a Chris Collinsworth loyalty when he's commentating?
I feel like that's the only reason why I can tolerate him. Okay. Is that I have that Bengals loyalty there, but he doesn't say nice things about the Bengals either. He's not like a homer. Like he's not like Boomer. He's going to pick the Bengals every time, right? Like Boomer on a pregame show. Like my sister-in-law is a Bengals fan that yells at the TV like constantly. And so she was yelling at all of the other commentators who were picking the other teams when they do that during the pregame.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got really excited when Boomer picked the Bengals. And it's like, yeah, he has no choice.
He does not. He's a nice guy, that Boomer Esiason.
Yeah, always picking the Bengals. And
always
the
picking them.
The Jets. If
he always picks the Bengals, he always picks the Jets. He does a lot for autism awareness causes.
Yeah, he seems all right.
Yep.
Nice. No more sports talk until next week.
Right.
Got it.
And then we'll be celebrating or crying.
Or we won't talk about it next week.
Or both, yeah.
Okay.
or we're going to pull a Bruno on this.
Here's a question. Here's a serious question. I would imagine, since you've already cried when they won the championship, when they win the Super Bowl, obviously you're going to cry. But the question is, if they lose the Super Bowl, will you cry? As he drinks his beer.
It depends on how heartbreaking of a loss it would be.
What
right?
if it's like, that scene in Star Wars episode, is it 2, where Jango Fett's head rolls right off in the helmet? What if that happens to Joe Burrow? Would you cry?
And they lose.
I like the 180 that Chiefy went on where I was going with this, where he went from why are you bringing this up to I'm enjoying this conversation.
Right. I was like, who remembers anything from Star Wars episode 2? Like, what the fuck? Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Of course.
Yes. Okay. Yes. That would be traumatic.
If he gets Django'd, it's going to be sad. I don't want that to happen.
That's what like, if he gets Django'd, is that tears?
Did Django show up in this new Book of Boba Fett?
No.
Like a little picture of him?
No.
Just like hanging on the wall or something?
He has a locket. He has a locket that he keeps around his neck. And when he's in the Bacta tank, he every now and again, he flips it open and he looks at it. And even though he's in liquid, you can still see the tear that rolls down.
No, this is true.
While he's looking at the locket. You know that Wolverine?
And going, my dad used to have a neck.
Yeah, it's pretty much, it's like, oh man, I remember back when dad had a head. Mm-hmm.
They do talk about his dad, though. They mentioned his dad.
Kind of, in passing.
Your dad your father was blah, 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 blah.
Are we watching stuff
that, like,
now?
There's a lot of
yes.
Are there a lot of old
stuff?
Fat stormtroopers, clone troopers walking around too? They look exactly like him.
No, but the Gamorrean guards have lost some weight.
Yes,
they're looking trim. They're looking very trim. Yeah.
For those who don't know, we're now in watching things. Everybody,
watch this, jerks. Until we vote for a new name. That's on the outline. Until somebody erases that.
I did watch the Boba Fett finale, as did you, right, GP?
Are we talking about that right away? I feel like I want to spoil it. Well, I want to spoil it. Sort of. So let's talk about that later. Let's get to that later.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's get to that a little bit later.
It sounded like I already spoiled it.
You did.
Several episodes back.
You did. It was so great. Oh my God.
I mean, we all knew that was coming, but yes, you did a good job.
I laughed a lot. I laughed a lot during that finale.
I did too.
Not at any jokes, though.
I loved it. I loved it for as cheesy and terrible as certain parts were. I really enjoyed it for that. For that, but anyway.
All right, let's just talk about Boba. We'll talk about Boba Fett now. No spoilers. No spoilers.
How about any Geonosians? Did any Geonosians show up?
Which ones are those?
He's doing more
The people who cloned them.
Yeah.
Oh, the skinny
tall,
guys
loose-
with the
yeah.
The tall
No.
skinny guys. Yeah.
No, I
That
will
is not a
say
spoiler.
I will say this. I watched the first episode of this Boba Fett series and then
the last three, right?
and the last three because Wombat told me like just watch the one that has
Mando.
And I will admit I did watch the last three, so I was entertained enough to watch it. And they're like an hour each, so it's like it is a commitment a little bit. I thought they were dumb, but I was entertained. Some of the writing in that and some of the things that these characters say to each other, oh my God. It's just like, let me just tell you one scene. My favorite scene from this it's not a spoiler. But there's one part where where Boba Fett is like, oh my God, I can't believe, I guess it's a little spoiler, but I mean, really, come on. I can't believe that everybody turned on me. I can't believe it. And Mando's standing next to him and turns and goes, it was the smart move. And implying that, yeah, like who would fucking be on your side, Boba Fett? You're a fucking fat ass, do nothing. And they're just, it's both guys in their helmets, like staring at each other as like one of the guys just insulted the other guy, but didn't mean to. It like, that's just like a normal person's interpretation of it. It's just like the writing is like G.I. Joe cartoons from the 80s and Transformers cartoons from the 80s. It's meant for like 10-year-olds.
I think it's maybe a slightly better than that, but I found a lot of it to be laughable, but I also really enjoyed it. There's definitely some dumb stuff in there. But again, I
laughed out loud like 5 or 6 times in this episode.
Yeah. I think that maybe, I mean, not the biggest mistake of that series, but one of the big mistakes of that series was they didn't quite establish a timeline and how old Boba Fett was supposed to be at that point, because the actor, Tamura Morrison looks kind of old, but how old? Because, he's Return of the Jedi. He gets hit in the back. He goes into the Sarlacc pit.
And he gains 50 pounds immediately.
And he comes out and he's like, oh, and they show him escaping the pit in an earlier episode. And he comes out. They didn't like CGI him to make him look younger and skinnier.
Right.
So was he actually in there for 10 years?
But you know what, though? It's not going to be a better series if they just hired a different actor who was thinner and younger.
I heard at one point that he was supposed to have lived with the Tusken Raiders for like 5 or 6 years. They don't really, and I didn't know that until I read that. I'm like, really? Because they don't. I thought it was like a week.
Right. Oh, is that? Oh, you said he did live there for 5 or 6 years?
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, I skipped those episodes, so I don't know.
But I'm just saying, it's like, yeah.
Anyway.
Because, there's a point at the end in this last episode where
he lived with the Sand People for 5 years.
Yeah.
Weren't the human people just right next door?
He was dead. They had to ejaculate a space worm into his mouth to bring him back from the dead, basically.
Oh, and then they give him like a drug thing that goes in his face, and he hallucinates, and he goes on a spirit quest, and he learns how to fight again, and he has to regrow face skin because he has not that much face skin. Oh, it's like a whole thing. He looks like a wrinkly penis for a while. Then he looks like a kind of like a smoother penis towards the end. Yeah, he's got it going on.
Also, the action scenes are not good. They look like and some of the characters, it looks like a fan film, like a good fan film. Like they're in the desert in the middle of like fighting, but there's all these like really colorful, well-dressed young.
Well, no, that's like a whole thing.
But why are they so like clean? Everything's so clear. It looks weird.
I like the mods, and that's the mod look, and it's a very specific. It's a very specific thing they're doing in the show that I appreciate with the mods and this sort of allegory with like 1960s.
Wombat wishes he was a mod.
There's a guy who has a camera on his face, like a camera and a computer, like in his eye. Mm-hmm. And he walks in, he has like 3 lines in the whole thing. He comes in, there's like a battle.
That's as many lines as anybody should have in Star Wars.
Exactly. That's the thing.
That's fine.
I don't think the mods overstay their welcome.
But he just comes onto the scene. He's got his camera, computer eye. He's like, where did these guys come from? And I'm thinking, I don't know, you got a fucking camera computer on your face. Why don't you tell me what the fuck's going on? It's just none of it really makes any sense.
I like camera eye guy. I like his cute one-armed girlfriend. I like their.
They were
their
so clean
scooters.
looking in the middle of a desert. Like,
well, that's the point.
oh, they're clean. That was their.
Yeah, that they care about how they look. That's like the whole mod lifestyle.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I missed that. Damn.
No,
They visit the casino planet at all?
Huh?
Do they visit the casino planet at all?
They don't visit the casino planet.
I don't know.
They might like it there.
Anyway,
I was entertained. Yeah, I can't hate on it too much. I was entertained. Shipwreck, hashtag Grogu Dome. He called it 3 episodes ago. I laughed. I laughed and I took a picture.
Yeah, you sent me the picture of it. I was like, yep, that's exactly how I pictured it in my mind. Yep.
And meanwhile, Grogu's thinking, where's that huge fucking ship that you used to have with all the bedrooms and everything? Now I'm just in this dome and I can't even touch you. We're not even this in the same dome. You're in the back dome. I can't even I'm not even with you. I'm just in a fucking silly putty container. Anyway. Great show.
Way too much.
Great
Way
show.
too much.
Great show.